Hello, hello, hello. Hey, Jasmine. Hey, Deb, Black Titan. How are you ladies doing tonight? Welcome. Hey, Trick Living. Hey, sis, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Always give people a few minutes to come in. I know everybody's time is valuable, and I understand, and I appreciate you hanging in there. Give them a couple of minutes to come in. Hey, Taylor, how are you? Welcome. Hey, Victoria Felicia. Hey, sis, how are you? Welcome, everybody. All right. So, hey, Triple Living. I got caught up on a little videos today. Hey, Harrison. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you, my brother. I'm getting caught up on everybody's videos. So if you see me coming in your content, that's because I finally got a breather. And I can come out and show some support to you guys. So we're going to talk a little bit today about walking difficulties, and that's a big one for me. And we're going to talk about Gait. So if you know somebody that's dealing with that, ask them to come in. We don't bite. We love to have guests in our house. Hello, Living Better. Hey, sis, how are you? Hey, Vern, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. So, got a couple of minutes and then I'll get started and cranking this up. So I appreciate you guys for coming. Hope everybody's having a good day. Hey, Jasmine Nicole. Hey, sis, how are you? I was in your house today, Jasmine Nicole. You talk about one of my favorite episodes of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Okay, guys getting all warmed up in here. Okay, looks like we got 10 people in the chat, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Hey, Daddy Days, how are you? Daddy Days, I picked out my room in your castle. I enjoyed that trip downtown yesterday of Germany. Oh, you're still in a little pain, still on bed rest. So I understand. Thank you so much for coming in. So you know the case. If you are unable to hang in there, we totally understand. You get some rest. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the music so we can get started here. So today we are going to talk about gait, our walking. And I know a couple of people on here. Hey, Cubs Den. Hey, niece, how you doing? How are you? Yep, Cubs Den is in the building. So we're going to talk a little bit about it. And I know a couple of Marley December. Oh my goodness. Hey dear, how you doing? Welcome. Welcome. So good to see you. So good to see you. So as you guys know, I did a video on Monday And I talked about walking, how my experience is with walking, and that's as an MS patient. And I know several people, again, on the live. I do not call people's name out. And if they want to talk about it, they're more than welcome to talk about it. This is a safe environment. We do not judge people. No judging here. No judging. We all have our flaws. We all have our problems. But something as serious as our walking condition and or a disease, we have no control over it. And anyone that can go sink as low as talk about somebody with a condition, shame on you. So I'm not claiming anybody in this live because I pick really good people to be a part of my family. So let's get started. We're going to talk about it. So of course, again, in my video, I talked about my ability, my ability to, amen. That's right, Daddy Days. You are right. So we talked about my condition and how I was easy to fall and how my gait is and how simple tasks that I have to do, I cannot do it. And there's going to be more parts to the videos that come out. These are all my conditions as an MS patient that I have to deal with on a daily. So one thing that I have to do is tell people, and I'm actually looking at my phone to try and keep up because there is a delay with StreamYard. So I want to tell people, as I've been saying from day one, when you're faced with any difficulties, not only walking, but with any difficulties, walking is today's topic, but walking or keeping your balance, if you're fatigued, your legs turn into jelly, don't despair, speak up, get help, know your symptoms, write them down. And I'm going to stop here just to say, I lost my godmother on Monday morning. She passed away not knowing what her condition was. She fought and she fought and she fought. And then it comes out after she passed away that she was a donor, an organ donor. And she actually, she was an organ donor. And before they can take her organs away, thank you guys, they had to keep her alive because, you know, once you have expired, your organs are expired too. You have like a matter of seconds to get it out. So they kept her on a breathing machine for a few hours just so that they can get the family in. The good thing is the family was able to go by and see her during this time. But they got all of her organs and they ran tests on them to see if they were good organs. And guess what they found? She had tumors throughout her body. Now we know why she was paralyzed. And I spoke to her many a times telling her, tell them all your symptoms. Don't stop with that one doctor. Get another doctor. And she fought a good battle, but unfortunately, her time came to an end. And now she doesn't have to worry about being in pain or not being able to walk. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, everybody, for your loving comments. Thank you so much. So I speak about this a lot in all of my lives, and I really, really mean it. I don't say it just to just put up a front. I really mean it. You guys, if you have issues, don't sit there and let it build up. Go to your doctor. If you don't have a doctor, do research and you can find a doctor. But don't take the doctor's advice, the first doctor, if they tell you have something. If you don't feel like that's true, you're entitled to get second and third and fourth opinions. Just get yourself checked on, because something is what I'm dealing with her loss, with my loss now. She, excuse me, she fought this battle for 5 years. 5 years of being in pain, 5 years of standing up to go in the kitchen and fix her something to eat and fall, and nobody found her for days. She laid in the kitchen floor, could not move. because her legs went out on her. Yes, she's in a much better place now. But most people, the older generation, they tend to not talk about it. And they think that it's okay, I'm doing fine, I'll be okay, or I'll do a home remedy. But home remedies worked then because our eating sources was not as bad as they are today. And you could take the home remedies and get well. But because they do so much for population control and to get more people fed, they're putting things into our food system, guys. And that's part of my battle with talking to people about this. I don't want to tell people how to eat and what to eat. I'm just saying be very careful with what you deal with, because this is no joke. We only have that one ticker. And when that ticker is gone, when it expires, that's it. And it doesn't matter how old you are. Nobody has a date stamp somewhere saying, okay, she was born on this date, she's going to leave on this. Nobody has that. So we have to take advantage of our resources and take care of ourselves at this level so that we don't have to be in our 50s or our 60s or our 20s and our 30s. People are dying younger now. I've met so many people that had a family member that was in their 20s and died from a freaking heart attack. It's too much out there for us to let this happen. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on talking about our walking, with my walking. And if anybody want to come up, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to let me know. I'll drop the link. You can tell me what to eat. The foods from the USA is not allowed over here. Yeah, yeah. It's a shame. It is really a shame. Let's see. I was just talking to a friend of mine that was everything last week about this very thing last week. We have no mindful. Yes, yes. No matter, and I understand we have to eat, but we have to find resources to make things better for ourselves. It doesn't take much to grow. You don't have to have a yard to grow tomatoes or a bell pepper, or I know we don't grow things in our everything in our region, but you can buy locally grown things. You look at a chicken in the store and a chicken leg is bigger than a turkey. That's telling you, that is signs that something is wrong with our food. Something is wrong. But not so much food, guys. We have exercise. Exercise. We eat and we eat and we eat, and a lot of people don't exercise. A lot of people don't drink their water. We take these things for granted. And I'm not talking about you guys in the live. I'm just saying in general, people take these things for granted. And it's heartbreaking to me. And when I go and give my public speeches and I look out in my audience and I see people, and they normally serve food whenever I go to my programs, and they serve food, and I look at the people and I look at what they eat, and they pile their plates high, and I'm like, wow, really? And then here I am going to give them a speech about what they're eating. So it's sign of a time we have to get ourselves in. But not only that, I started Eat to Live Strong to help people eat better and with fitness, so that they wouldn't run into a situation like me, topping the scale at 300 pounds. Topping the scale at freaking 300 pounds. Because I allowed myself to eat foolishly. And I exercise. So it's a combination. It's not, oh, I'll eat well, I don't have to exercise, I'll eat well. Or I'll exercise, I can eat what I want to eat. Hey, Buddha of Destiny. Hey, how are you? Welcome. So just say those things and just say, oh, I'll just exercise. And I was one. I'm not even going to lie. I lost 50 pounds at one time. Hey, Carolyn Eats All. Welcome, dear. I lost 50 pounds once before, and it never dawned on me until I was like, well, it dawned on me. Don't even say that. Don't even say that. I figured, you know what? If I want this freaking chocolate cake, I'm going to eat this chocolate cake and I'm just going to work out an extra hour in the gym. So I was working out 3 times a day just so that I can eat that foolishness. And it's all right. Don't deprive yourself of the things. It's just be really careful with what you're doing. It's, I'm just over just hearing all the deaths, and bad enough we have to deal with the diseases and things that's floating around out here. Why don't we try to beat the odds by taking care of our body, eating what we're supposed to eat, exercising, drinking our water, things of that nature. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to again talk about walking and what with me. I did a video on Monday talking about the things that I go through about me walking. I also did a video with my neurologist appointment, my follow-up, and some of the things that we had to do to for him to check me for my gait to see how I was still, how things were working, if it was working, if I need to change my medicine and things of that nature. So one of my biggest problems is walking. When I was first diagnosed with MS, I was walking and then all of a sudden I couldn't walk. And I had to teach myself how to walk all over again. So it was like a child learning how to walk again. But although I'm able to walk again, I'm still not as confident with my walking. I'm still not as strong with my walking. And I had, like I said on Monday in my video, I had to retire my high heel shoes and my stilettos and things like that because I can't walk in them. Heck, I can't even walk in flat and sneakers. I fall with those. And I know Marley has been on one of my walks with me virtually. I was walking and I walked with a walking stick. And it was such a pleasure that one day I had walked around, and Marley, you may remember this or not, I had walked around my entire subdivision and didn't have to use my stick. And that was a proud moment for me. So I try not to use that stick because I don't want to be accustomed to using those things. Because our function of our body a lot of times is our mind. So I try to do things to make it better for me, but you have to, let's see, I had to go through that because of a car accident. Oh, sure. I'm sorry you had a car accident. I'm glad you're okay. Just a second, Jasmine. Okay, so I've had to, I had to teach myself how to walk all over again. And I don't take it for granted that I walk and I stumble and I fall. But you guys don't even know the half of my battle with my walking. Half of the battle. But with the walking difficulties, there's no medication. Well, there are medications, but I try to stay free from the medication because you know the story. You take a pill to take care of this, but you have to take another one to cover this, and so on and so forth. So there is medication for it. I don't solicit the medication in the lives because I'm not a doctor, and that is the disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. So if you are to try anything, please get the advice from your medical professionals before trying any health or fitness plan. I'm only telling you how things worked for me. But physical therapy is a way. Hey, Jasmine, I see you there. Physical therapy is a thing that they do for you if you are having problems with your gait or with walking. Exercise, exercise, exercise. Exercise is key. So even if you're taking your feet while you're in the bed and doing the bicycle motion or kicking, keep those legs moving because if you don't use them, you will lose them. But don't give up. Keep fighting. Keep fighting. And then, of course, they have the corrective assistant devices, which cost the arm and a leg. And you have to, they have the walkers and the canes and the wheelchair, but those things are expensive. And if your insurance will pay for it, but some people are in instances they cannot. The insurance pays for it, but after a certain amount of time, and I know Jasmine is going to talk about this too, after a certain amount of time, you have to have that device for so many years before they replace it. And I think that is dumb. That is dumb. Taylor says a lot of people take walking for granted. Yes, they do, Taylor. Yes, they do. They really do. And I don't. I've been fed that journey of not being able to walk, to have to teach myself how to walk again. And then prior to me graduating from college, I fell down the stairs. It was a really nasty fall. I thought I broke my leg. Out of 40 something years of not breaking anything, well, I broke my finger. I ended up falling down the stairs and I thought I broke my leg. And then they were like, "Well, we can get you a walker or something to walk across the stage." No, absolutely not. I'm going to walk across that stage. So I went and did physical therapy, went to the chiropractor, and I kept walking, and I got that done. Hey, Brown Milk TV, welcome.
Hello.
Go ahead, Jasmine. I'm going to read the notes, but you go ahead, Jasmine.
I think people create such a stigma around using devices, is what I like to call it, because they just hate the appearance of it. But you have to use it whether you like it or not, because some people don't really have that choice. So when some people get out here and say, "Well, I don't need it and I'll just hop around or do what they need to do or get somebody else to help them," it becomes annoying to people like me, because I don't have the luxury to say I'm not going to use something, or I'm just going to work as hard as I can and it's all going to get better. So I'm not saying don't use them, but use them if you need them and don't be embarrassed about them, because you're making it look like you're putting on this face like everybody can magically have the option to say, "Well, this day I'm not going to use the walker, this day I'm not going to use the chair," or whatever you have to use. So just use it if you need it and don't be ashamed of it.
True.
It happens.
Now, Marley said that she used the stairs in her home as a form of exercise when I've been sitting for a long time. And Marley, I did use my stairs, but now I've got a video coming out about the stairs. But yeah, the stairs is a good form of exercise, especially when I'm down to the end when I'm trying to reach my goal of my steps per day. And I'm like, it's too dark to go out or it's too cold. So I hit the stairs and I just start going up and down to get those steps in. So yes, that is a good form of exercise. Hey, A Merch, welcome. I understand, dear. Thank you for coming.
Hello.
And Burns said, when I broke my foot and toe, I would get jealous of the people that were able to still walk freely. Yes. Now I will tell you this, and I've got to get more of them out because as an MS patient and part of my ambassadorship, there were people that were using the wheelchairs and the walkers, and they were afraid to use them. And I went ahead and said, what can I do to help them? Because they wanted to dress to the nine and look cute with the cane or the walkers. So I started bedazzling canes, and I sold a lot of them. So you can make your cane look just as good as a pair of shoes. It's an accessory. I tell people now, if you have to use a cane or a device, you think of it as an accessory. Think of it as a necklace or earrings or rings or whatever. It's an accessory. Jazz it up. Let's see. Taylor says, for example, if you could walk around and take care of yourself, who would take care of you? Uh-oh, it jumped. Sorry. If you couldn't walk around to take care of yourself, who would take? Exactly, Taylor. Exactly. She says, for example, if you couldn't walk around to take care of yourself, who would take care of you? And that's what happened with my godmother. She didn't have anybody to take care of her. And that's how she ended up in her kitchen for a few days because nobody was coming to check on her. And finally, she was in an apartment, and finally, someone heard her moaning, and they called the police department, and they came in and got her. I tore my calf muscle and dazzled up my crutches. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
a merch. That is exactly what I did. You bedazzle it. You make it look good. Make it do what it do. Because if you gotta have it, you gotta have it. Now, me for instance, my thing was I didn't think that I had to have it, and my doctor and my chiropractor told me You're that type of person that's going to push through everything. So I'm not going to prescribe you to walk on a walker or a crutches or anything. You could do it because nothing was broken. It was just a bad sprain. So I didn't. And my stepfather was like, "Get that walker. She needs the walker." And he started pushing this walker in my face. I'm like, "No, I don't want to be dependent on this because nothing is wrong with me." Let's see. I bedazzled my crutches when I broke my foot and bedazzled my boot when I had surgery in my left toe after stepping on a needle. Ouch,
Ooh.
Marley.
Ooh.
Ouch. And let's see. For 7 months, I was blinging. Hey, look at it this way. You didn't have to wear high heel shoes on them on that foot either, right?
Mm.
So yes, don't let that disturb you. Like Jasmine said, if you got to use it, use it. Don't let that be. Don't let that bother you. In my opinion, anybody out here that knows me knows me. I don't give a flip what somebody say about me. I don't care what somebody say about me. They don't pay my bills. They don't buy my clothes. They don't feed me. They don't clothe me. So I don't care what somebody says. I really don't care. Say what you
Yeah.
want to say. It doesn't hurt me because at the end of the day, you better pray that it don't happen to you. Because when it do, that
Mm.
thing came back around, didn't it? So I don't let that bother me. Let's
Mm. And if you say no the first time, you don't want to have to fight with the insurance company when you actually do need it. So even if they say you might need it in the future, I would suggest get it now and hold on to it because those insurance company fights are not pretty.
They're not. Let's see, that I
No.
had my legs so swollen and in pain that I could not walk last year from November to January. I could even use my cane because any I couldn't do any weight bearing. Oh wow. Oh my goodness. Okay. Deb, I'm glad you're feeling better on that one because that edema is no joke. When your limbs swell up, no joke. That's right, Carolyn Esau. Karma ain't nice. And
No.
everybody saying
Yeah.
amen. Yes, I don't care what nobody say about me. First of all, I got a good quick comeback. So you say something, I'm really quick at coming back on you. And I don't care what people say about me. I never have been that way. You see, even now when I have mobility and balancing issues, I use a cane, and I don't care who sees me with a cane. Exactly. If
Mm.
that means somebody gonna say you can get in line ahead of me, come on, yeah, y'all better use that to your advantage.
Mm.
Ah, ma'am, you need to. You can park here, ma'am. No, no, I'll go on. You go on. Use it to your advantage. Exactly.
Mm.
Um, but also, hey, Blue Jeans. Hey, nephew. How are
Hello, Blue
you?
Jean.
So, if you want to, as far as the insurance is concerned, Jasmine is correct. Jasmine, do you want to tell everybody what's going on while you're going through what you're going through?
Okay. So my wheelchair is broken. They were coming to fix it. And the only thing at the time when he came to fix it, there was nothing wrong with it except for the arms were bent a little bit. So he said he was going to order new arms and he put them up, like screwed the piece on so they would stay up. So by the time he left my house, it was time for me to get transferred back into my chair and go in my room. So when we clicked the joystick button, it would come on, but it would just blink. The chair wouldn't move. So we called him back. He didn't leave yet. So we called him back. He came back. Then he comes back and says, "Well, your chair is 4 years old. Your chair has to be 5 years old before we can prescribe you a new one. So I'm gonna have to order a new joystick, a new seat, a new computer for the little battery that sits in the back of my chair, and something else. And there's a possibility that even when all these new parts come in, that chair still might not work." It's 8 o'clock. So now we found out yesterday that the doctor's office didn't ever sign the prescription for the parts to be ordered, and it's been 2 weeks. So my mother had to go up to the doctor's office. to get the doctor to sign it, and trying to find out the company where the chair is supposed to come from never sent the doctors the papers for her to sign it. So hopefully, now that my mother has went up there and we had the coordinator and all the other extra people that work on that type of stuff, hopefully by tomorrow it'll be signed and the parts will be here within a week, because y'all know I love my independence and there's a lot of things I can do for myself. But it's very hard to ask my mother to take me to the bathroom when I can normally do that to myself or go cook me something to eat. It bothers me. And to now that I have to teach my nieces and nephews because they're doing online school, having to interrupt my 14-year-old nephew when he's doing something if my mother's not here is very annoying. But I know my family loves me and they will do anything for me. But it's messing with my independence. All because people are not doing their jobs. It's just a piece of paper. All she has to do is sign it. The insurance company is ready to go. They will sign off on it. But whoever is supposed to sign it, it has to come from the wheelchair company. And it has to go through the doctor for her to sign off on it.
Wow.
So until she signed it, we're in halt because the insurance company is ready to go to pay for it. But until they get that piece of paper saying the doctors cleared it for it to go, my chair will remain broken until somebody signs that prescription paper.
Now, Victoriously Shay said that is why it's so important to make sure you look over your medical insurance coverage. Amen to that.
Yeah.
Taylor says, what if you have to use a mobility device because you have no choice? For example, if you use a power chair because it's the only way I can get around.
Oh, I know what Taylor's trying to say. Taylor's trying to let you know that I can push myself around if I'm in a manual chair on my own. So technically, I can do that in a manual chair if I choose to. But Taylor, unfortunately, she can't push herself in a manual chair if her power chair gets broken because her arms don't work the same as mine. So it would be harder for her to use her arms, practically impossible, compared to I can at least, if I'm in a manual chair, get myself to point A to point B if no one's here. But Taylor can't do that.
Oh, okay. Hey, Tuber Chat, welcome. Thank you for coming.
Hello, Tuber.
Let's see. We had, that was Taylor. Daddy Days say, hit that like for the host. Thank you, Daddy Days. Victoriously Shay. Well, A Merch said that's ridiculous for your situation, Jasmine.
Yeah.
Victoriously Shay, instead of them replacing the chair, they rather fix it, but with no guarantees of. Yeah.
Yep.
And guys, that's what happens when, for instance, when you're younger, like you're still child, school age or what have you, those things, like my sister with her baby, she gets around and get things done pretty fast. But her concern is now worrying about, okay, Marley, thank you. Tell Dad I said hi. She's not really worried about it because she gets it done pretty quick. But when you become an adult, it's hard to get those things overridden. Let's see, Daddy Days. Thank you for having me. It's 2 in the morning. Okay, that's right. Read my comment, Daddy Days. I was supposed to come where you are, so you did a good live. So guys, if you get a chance, go check Daddy Days. He did a really cool video. He gave y'all a tour of downtown. He's in Germany. You be safe, Daddy Days. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you. Hey Sheila, how are you? Welcome. So yes, that's you definitely. She has to stay on them because when you get older, they don't pay for anything, which is always a good idea to have that. None of us have a date stamp knowing when we're gonna, if we're going to do things better or if we're not. So put that money aside, because when you become an adult, it's really hard to deal with the insurance people. It really is. Uh, team meeting, I'll be back. Okay, A Merch. Let's see. I'm in the background about to fix dinner. Sounds yummy. Okay, niece, enjoy. Thank you. And let's see. Yeah, she said, rest well, daddy days, and stay safe. Okay, and Victoriously Shay said, and it's so sad that you have to consistently stay on the doctor's butt to get your stuff done. And that is another good reason why you need to make sure that you get that right doctor. Because if you got a doctor that's packing in patients, that's like going to the hairdresser and you have to sit for a washing set for like 4 hours waiting to get your hair washed and set because the hairdresser got like 50 people in there at the same time. I don't like that kind of drama. No. But you're right, Victoriously Shay. Let's see. Okay, listen, I'll tell him hi. Also, we'll check out Daddy Dave's Love Walking, your walking tour videos. Yeah, do that. Good to see you too, Marley. Let's see. Living Better says, I'm having a hard time getting my son a new wheelchair too. It's really sad. And they do that when you become an adult. I just don't get it. It's not like you guys are working, Jasmine, we lost Jasmine. It's not like you guys are people are working, making millions of dollars that they can go out and buy those things. Those things are expensive. Those things are expensive. So I just pray that you guys get better insurance and it works, and you do have to stay on them. Living Better, you have to stay on them like they owe you $1 million. You have to call and harass them until you get your results. And I'm going to tell you guys this. And see, this is the perfect time. During election time, it's the best time to go to your congressman's office and say, look, I've been trying to get this done and I can't get it done. That's why I walk the halls of the state capitol fighting for MS survivors and warriors. You can go to your congressman's office. This is the perfect time because guess what? You're a constituent and they want your vote. And they don't want another ad to pop up on the TV about them. I'm just saying. Computer died. Okay, Jasmine, I promise you I understand because when my mom got really sick here in the spring, I got so overwhelmed with the doctor's office and the insurance companies. That's what Victoriously Shay said. Yeah, when you find that good doctor, you keep it. You keep him. My doctor, my neurologist, I go to him for everything. He said, don't you have a primary care? Yeah. He said, well, why don't you? No, you shouldn't be so smart and you shouldn't be so good. I stay on. I call him. He answers back. As long as I put it in the patient portal, he emails me back. He calls me. I've not had very many doctors to personally call you. The nurse will call you. He calls me. How are you feeling? Did the medicine work? He's one of those doctors that calls his patients. And if he tells you to be at your appointment at a certain time, he wants you there because he's very thorough. He don't like late patients. And I always pick the very first appointment because I know for a fact if I'm late to that appointment, that throws his whole schedule off. And I'm not a tardy person. I am always on time. Hey, Jasmine.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's see. That's why my mom does. Yeah, the first appointment is always. But hey, James Money, welcome, James Money. You're on my list for me to come to your house. Just so you know, I got a list, guys. I'm trying to get to everybody that I have not seen in a while. So I've been pretty good now. I'm down to 2 pages. So you guys are gonna start seeing me now. I'm on time. I'm on point. Let's see. Carolyn Eats says, when you get older, the product becomes more expensive, so they give you a hard time. You know what, you guys, I don't know, and I hate to do this. I hate to say this, so don't come at me if anybody's checking this video out later. I don't know who watches lives, but okay. Some of the things you have to get out of the country. I'm not even gonna lie. Even like my medication, it's cheaper if I get it from Germany. So I'm just saying. And Taylor said it took me forever to get my power chair battery. We had to keep calling national seating and mobility because I'm not going to try and pronounce that name. Dr. J didn't get the paperwork. Yeah. And you know
Yeah.
what? They sometimes they tell you they don't get it. It's probably in stacks of paper. Stacks. They don't even, mm-mm. Or it's
Mm-hmm.
mingled in with somebody else's documents, which is scary, which is illegal. You're not supposed to mix those patient files up. There was an example of a patient, and then Jasmine, I'll let you start. But there was a patient that was in the at the hospital. We were caring for them, and the doctor wrote the paperwork up, and it got mixed in with another patient's file. This is not a lie, guys. This really actually happened. They got the paperwork mixed up when they got ready to take one of the other patients off to where she was supposed to be. They had a surgery set up and they amputated the lady's leg, and she was not supposed to have that done.
Wow.
They amputated her leg. She got but what good is $1 million if they've done something so tragic as that? Hey, DMV dining. Hey, sis, how you doing? Welcome. So what makes $1 million? Yeah, I can use $1 million, but your quality of life has changed tremendously. And I tell you guys that is not a fib. That is true. I got the journal and everything on it. That happened. They amputated this lady's leg. They got the wrong patient. The paperwork got mixed up. That's why if you go to a doctor's office and they got a mess of papers, run, because that is not good. Let's see. Victoriously Shay said that when I get my FMLA paperwork filled out once a year, I sit right there with my doctor and watch him fill it out. Exactly. You got to. But I'm telling you guys, if you go to a doctor's office and you see nothing but paper and paper and paper, run. That could
And
get you.
nowadays you don't even see paper because most doctors, or at least the ones I've seen where I live, they do everything by computer. Like even when they first walk in, they walk around with a computer. So these days you never even see paperwork unless they give you the little paperwork that you got to fill out about your symptoms when you first walk in the door. But by the time they come see you, they have the laptop with everything somebody just asked you about 10 minutes ago before they walked in. They don't even have the actual sheets anymore. Most.
Yeah, they say they don't, but they do because a lot of people are not trustworthy with technology, especially the older doctors' offices. They don't believe in technology. They believe in having something documented in black and white. They do not. They still write it down and they still keep notes. So they keep them on the computer. And then a lot of the doctor's offices, I don't know if any of you guys in the profession or know. Speaking of profession, Vern is going to have a live. I think it's Vern put the date out there. I think it's the 24th. She's doing a.
It was the 24th.
Yeah, with the profession, the medical professionals. But they changed their software so often. We were always in training because the doctor figured, oh, this software is cheaper. This is easier. Easy is not always good, and cheaper is not always good. And then now you've transported all the patient's information in this new thing, and it may or may not work. That's why they keep paper, Jasmine. They tell you they don't, but that's why they keep paper because they change their system so often. They don't keep up. They'd rather have extra set of files. So a lot of them do keep the files. Let's see. If you
Well,
don't
they're walking around with their scribe.
Listening to you, you have the right to switch to another doctor and do so as soon as possible. That's right, Victoriously Shay, because we did a live burn, I did one about bedside manners.
Yeah, I remember that.
Ways. What was that, Jasmine? I'm sorry, you were saying.
I remember the bedside manner conversation.
Yeah, but definitely keep that in mind. So again, with the walking problems that I have, me personally, of course, like I said, I do the physical therapy, I do the exercise, I walk, and walk. So that's the best remedy for me. I'm not going to take, if I have to take a medicine every, because again, I was holistic before I was diagnosed. If I have to take a pill every day for the rest of my life until they prove to me that stem cell is the perfect way to go, and they're not offering stem cells to people after a certain age. So my age has kicked in. That's like, well, we're going to give it to the younger people. So they really think that we're going to die before anybody else. I don't know. But anyway, I use the, I do the walking. Walking is the best thing to help you with your gait. So I will tell you this also. If you are untreated for your walking problems, it can lead to a lot. So it can lead to emotional distress, and that happened to me. It can lead to injuries, meaning that you could fall. It could add on
Mm-hmm.
to your fatigue. And the biggest one, reading the journals, lately they're saying that the biggest thing is people are becoming alcoholics and using drugs. I'm like, if you cannot walk and you decide to use drugs and drink alcohol, wouldn't that mess with your walking, your balance and stuff anyway? But a lot of people now, medically speaking, they are changing they're moving to drugs and alcohol because they can't find anything to satisfy them. They can't find that right thing to keep them from being in pain. So they're resulting into drugs and alcohol. Not, first of all, I'm too stingy. I'm not gonna pay for that stuff. No, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what they do. If you don't treat your walking issues, though, this could be one of your cases. You could actually have emotional distress, and I was like that in the beginning because again, I couldn't go in the mall and walk and all that stuff, and I was used to being in the mall every weekend. I would be in the mall shopping. Can't do it now.
Well,
Victoria's
you can be
Jay
stuck
said,
in a
I
position.
also learned when I moved out west, I got better with my health. The doctor's offices back home kept telling me nothing was wrong. Yeah, because she was on my panel too. We were talking about, what was it, Shay? We were talking about
Vertigo.
vertigo. Thank you. Charge it to the dome here, guys, not the heart. So, yeah, yes. All
Yeah.
right. So with how they test the gate, and I don't know, I'm gonna tell you how they test me. Yep. Thank you, Shay. Jasmine had to remind me. Y'all know my mind don't be cooperating. The diagnosis, how they diagnose my gait, how they check me every time I go to the doctor. And again, I did a video on that. Um, Actually, yeah, my doctor. I did two videos. I did my follow up appointment with my doctor, and then I did the video before that. But how they test me is they have me to walk up and down. Now his office is a small space. So not small, but average size office. So I had to walk up and down. So that was the first thing they checked. Then I had to do the heel to toe, where you take your feet and you put your heel to toe like that. And they watch to see how you perform. So this is the toughest one for me, the heel to toe, because I'm doing this. I'm wobbling really bad. And I'm having to grab and hold on to something because I am really wobbling really bad. Um, they also test your muscle strength. They test your range of motion. And that's when they tell you to, how they tell you to bend down as far as you can without, stretching too far. Or then they test your ability. Now, my follow up appointment, I had to laugh because he had you to do the, put your hand out and touch your nose. I missed my whole entire nose, but at least I was in the range. So they test that. Yeah. Yeah. Carolyn Esau said, wow. They test your range of motion. They test your momentum, your spasticity, your balance, and your level of fatigue. So with them testing all of that, they look at your posture, how you
Yeah.
stand when you walk, and all that stuff. So if you Me, somebody that come from the person that was always so keep your head, because I was brought up with my parents and my grandparents, sit up straight, hold your chin up, and then you get to the point where you're like, I'm like trying to find something to hold on to because I'm always like wobbly. So they check all of those things. Jasmine, how do they check? How do you go through your diagnosis with your doctor?
Uh, well, first they checked my hips because when I was younger, my hips were turned in, so they rotated them back out. And then they checked my hamstrings because I got cut on my hamstrings and my hips, and my leg has a rod in it. So, because my problem with me standing was when I walk, it looked like I was sinking, so I was never standing perfectly straight. It was like I was moving, but I looked at like 5 inches shorter than I actually am.
Wow.
So basically, in the whole surgery thing, they loosen all your muscles and turn your hips and turn your feet to straighten you back out. So it makes you not your correct height, but close enough to what they think your original height was. So basically, they mostly go with range of motion now because walking is like the taller you get, the harder it becomes because you are so used to being your body being compacted. You're not used to it being a certain length or being a certain height. So as long as you're not compacted anymore, they qualify that as a good thing now.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Now,
Mhm.
a lot of people talk about there being the weakness in their legs, and it's weakness in your muscle. So your muscle becomes weak, and that definitely has an effect on your ability to walk. So when that muscle is weak, that's why I'd say to people to always do the bicycle thing in the bed to keep those legs, those muscles working. Because if you don't use them, you're gonna lose them. I told my father-in-law that because he got accustomed to being in the wheelchair or that hover around, and he was just content. And I was like, Daddy, you got to get up, and you got to walk. Because if you don't, you got. He never did, and he was never able to walk again. Um, but the weakness in the muscle will definitely have an effect on your ability to walk. But it's also the damage to your neurons, your nerve cells, and that can affect your particular group of nerves. And have you heard of foot drop? Has anyone heard of foot drop?
I've heard of it.
You have? Okay. So foot drop is that particular nerve, that the nerve conduction. It actually um, helps your ankle and your foot. And what tends to happen with that, and this is me, because if you guys ever remember me saying in some of my videos, is I always have to tell myself, pick up your feet, left, right, left, right, left, right. Because what that does is it keeps your muscle, it's that muscle that that flex your ankle, which that gives you foot drop is it gives you the oh gosh, what am I trying to say? It usually makes it difficult for you to step up on a curve or an incline or even uneven pavement. So I don't know if it's that just your brain is not. What it is that your brain is not being fed the information. So you are trying to think twice. What do I do next? What do I do next? So when you guys finally see the video of me walking up the steps, you're going to understand exactly what I'm talking about, coming up and down the stairs. But the difficulties, the foot drop usually makes it difficult to um, to lift yourself over inclines or curves or, like I said, um, uneven surfaces and stairs. So that's what the foot drop does for me. And basically, when I'm walking up or down the stairs, I don't just go like step, step, step. Mine's is step. I put one foot down first and then put the other one down. And it's ironically, not even ironically, because everything that happens to me happens on my right hand side. So what happens is my right hand side is the last thing to do anything, but my right hand is my prominent hand. So I'm a righty. But I use so I overcompensate for my left because I know the left side is stronger than the right side. So that's what the foot drop is. Now,
It's
Taylor, are
my
you still in
opposite
here?
side.
Because Taylor made a comment. I wanted her to post in the live in the chat. Um, hey Pam Money, welcome. Thank you for coming, dear.
Do you remember what her comment was?
She made a comment on Monday. She said that her gait was, they call it the scissor. And I wanted her to type in the chat. How did that, have you heard of that, Jasmine?
Yeah, I know what it is. So basically, it's like some people, if a gait trainer is basically where they stick, it's like a belt that goes around your hips that has like two leg pieces, and the leg pieces go around your legs. So basically, what Taylor's trying to explain is that the gait trainer will keep her perfectly upright and centered. So like she won't be able to bend certain parts, like if they got her up to walk without the gait trainer, or else she would fall completely on the floor. So the gait trainer keeps her body in line with the movements that it's trying to make instead of her legs being completely separate apart, like they're not even connected.
Okay. I am not to that part yet. And I'm not going to claim that I will be to that part because I do, of course, I do the physical therapy, but most of the physical therapy I do, it comes with an option of several different things. And the one that I chose, believe it or not, I chose to do the pool. So I walk in. My mind tells me that if I'm gonna fall, if I'm falling in this pool that's 6 feet deep, guess what? I'm not gonna hit that concrete because I'm not quite that heavy to go bam and hit the concrete. So hey, Luann Charles, welcome.
Hello.
Hello. So I'm not quite that heavy that I'm gonna go straight to the bottom. So I decided to do the pool. They give you just you do the stretches, and you also do squats, and then of course walking. So that's what I do to help
I just
myself
like
with
the
it. Hey
treadmill.
Sheila, Sheila was putting something, but I don't know what she's saying. Can you
Yeah.
retype that for me, please, Sheila?
Yeah. I don't like the treadmill.
You don't like the treadmill?
No.
Now that's the only way I will run is if I run on the treadmill because I was a runner. So I run on the treadmill now. Let's see. Marley says, right. My dad had a gait trainer before he learned to walk again. He still uses the gait belt when in the public. Oh, okay. Okay. Awesome.
But I just like the treadmill because that's when they watching to see if you actually picking up your feet
Oh,
instead of
well,
just lying your foot. And well, technically for me, they have I don't know what you call it. It's a rope that connects to you so like you won't fall, but it comes from the ceiling and you're standing perfectly straight and they just watch if you can pick up your feet. And it's the most annoying thing because they count how many times you pick up your feet. They're not actually seeing if you can run or walk. They want to know if you can pick up your feet while something's moving. And it can be a little annoying.
yeah, that's kind of what they do is they observe you to see if you they are observing your full demeanor. They're even observing your attitude. So if they tell you,
Mm-hmm.
like for me, when they would tell me which one was that they told me to do, because my knees were bothering me back then because I had a lot of weight on me, so my knees hurt a lot. So when they had me to do the squat, and I'm like, can't do the squats. Can you do something else? They have a check. They have a checklist for physical therapy, and they check all of that stuff off. They check your demeanor, your attitude about doing it. They check everything out because you know what? Because they are part of the insurance, I mean, not part of the insurance, but they have to get paid through the insurance, and the insurance company gives them a checklist that they have to go by. And if they don't tell the truth on that checklist and the insurance company find out about it, they're not going to get paid. So you know they're going to tell it. So they watch all of that. They check your ability to. They even check when I was, because I would park right out in front of the physical therapy door, and they would check how I got out the car, how I got in the car, how I was sitting in the car. Now I sit when I'm driving. I'm in the car. I'm sitting with my back straight up. The seat is straight up. I'm sitting just like this. I don't slump or anything. So they definitely check all of that. Let's see. Marley said, Sheila said she needs this. Oh, okay, awesome, Sheila. She said, LOL, I feel you, Jasmine. Dad disliked when the staff at Shepherd Center observes him. Many times he drags his feet as well. He really hates when I notice him dragging his feet. Yeah, they do check that, Marley. Yep. And they're going to point it out on him, too. Let's see. Sheila said, I need this topic, but I must leave. I hope you guys discuss this again. Good night. Okay, Sheila, good night. I'll contact you tomorrow, dear. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, but the braces are more annoying.
Yeah.
Those things are hot.
The braces are hot? Yeah,
especially
my little niece wears
braces. You
braces.
have to wear them in the summer.
Yeah.
And you can't wear them without socks because it irritates your skin.
Yeah.
And they come from like this thick plastic and they really hot. They help and they do what they supposed to do by keeping your legs straight. But they are hot. And then you gotta find the perfect shoe that fits them.
Wow.
Because not every shoe fits. And growing up, the only shoes that would fit over braces were Reeboks.
Yeah, I think she goes to we have a Reebok store in the forum, so she goes up there get her shoes from there. She used to be able to use Buster Brown shoes, but I think they finally were, as she got bigger, she weren't able to use them. Which I'm going to tell you about her, Jasmine, later. She had she's having she's going to have surgery again. This poor kid has had more surgeries, and she's such a trooper. She is such a trooper. She's had surgery probably more than anybody in this life us together has had. This child has had surgery after surgery. But she has a rare disease that it's called the little red coat. If you guys get a chance to Google it and look it up, it's called the little red coat. And she's gone through a lot in her young life. But yes, Jasmine, you don't like the trend, but they do check to see what you're doing. They want to make sure, but you know, they do it just because they want to make sure. Because I had a friend that she used to drag her feet all the time. That drove me nuts. And I would hear her dragging her feet, and then those heels was just sliding on the. I'm like, girl, if you don't pick your feet up, that drives me nuts. And look at me now. I drag my right foot. Everything on that right side, guys. Everything on the right side. So I find myself dragging my right foot. And then when I catch myself, I'm like, pick it up. Pick up your foot. Left, right. Pick it up. Pick it up. I have to tell me that because every once in a while, and I don't know if this happened to Jasmine, but 12 amazing content creators in the live. Thank you so much for coming in. I have not been my best at telling you guys to thank you for coming in and for hanging with us. I really do appreciate you guys. I don't know if this has happened to you, Jasmine, where you have seen or known, or of even when you were trying, when you were trying to walk on the treadmill and whatnot. Sometimes when I walk, again, everything is on my right side. I start walking, and then if I don't catch myself, or if I don't constantly tell myself to pick up my feet or whatnot, my right leg will buckle some kind of way, and that's a crash. It's a crash.
Yeah, it's happened, but I'm connected to a pole, so I'm not gonna fall. I'll start sinking because they got you connected to a pole, so I'm never gonna fall forward or backwards.
Girl, how strong is that pole? Because I know if I was on that pole,
don't you know the thing? Like, it's like if you ever seen those little rock climbing ropes.
Yeah.
It looks like one of those, but it's thicker than that, and it's connected to your back, your front, and your chest.
Oh, okay.
So
I
You're not
probably
going
feel
to.
like it would see then that got another problem because I would think that I'm gonna hang myself with all those ropes on me. I couldn't do that.
No, because it's like you went. It's connected to a life jacket, so sort of thing. So
Uh-huh.
you're not. You don't even feel it on you. Cause
Gotcha.
yeah.
No. So I'm gonna go on to the next couple of things. Balance. All this ties into your gait, all this ties into your walking ability, but your balance not only affects your walking, it can cause falling, of course. It can cause falling. It can cause accidents. Yeah, me. Meaning driving. It will, in other words, I can't judge, no judgment of distance. So if I'm driving, that's why they told me not to drive. So I'm getting better because I am able to drive a little now. But driving, I can't judge the distance. So I would, I will run over the curb. I would knock
Mhm.
down garbage cans and stuff because I couldn't judge the distance. And it really freaked me out on the freeway because I'm like, can I get over? Can I get over? Can I get over? And I'm looking, I'm trying to look at all the mirrors and all that. And meanwhile, people behind me blowing because I'm not moving over fast enough. So yes, it does affect the balance does that to you as well. So it can cause accidents. It can cause you to fall. It can cause a whole lot. How's your balance, Jasmine, when you do go to your appointments? How do they check your balance?
Mm, basically, I sit in a chair and they'll tap me to see if I can hold myself up.
They'll
So
tap you.
sometimes, yeah. So like, if I'm sitting in a chair, the doctor will be on the right side and he'll tap my right side to see if I can hold myself up while he's tapping me. Just because most of the time, if somebody taps me, no matter how hard they're pushing, I can literally just fall completely over. Just from somebody putting their hand there and like, here you go. I'm
Yeah.
probably gonna go to the left.
Oh,
So basically, they tap me from both sides to see how long I can hold myself straight up without falling over. Usually, it don't last long. It's only about 15 seconds, but we try.
wow.
I'm not the type of person that, like, when I wake up in the morning, how they be like, you gotta hop out of bed and all that. Because if I do that, I'm falling on the floor. So I have to know if I'm fully awake before I
That's
actually
the
get out of bed, or else I'm gonna hit the floor.
I'm glad you said that, Jasmine. This is outside of the checking your gait and your walking and all that, guys. When you get out of the bed, a lot of people do that. I find myself now, and I had to tell my grandfather too. And wait a minute, Marley said, I was about to tell you that. Yeah, I'm not, I drive Marley, but I don't go long distance like I used to. I would jump in the car and go to Louisiana, no problem.
Yeah, I
Uh,
don't drive.
but I don't do that as not by myself anymore. Because I was in outside sales, I would drive all over, but I don't do it now. Um, when you guys get out the bed in the morning, and this is not for people. I'm not just saying you got to have a disease to do this. But when you get out the bed in the morning, don't just jump out of bed. First of all, it messes with your heart if you jump out of bed that quick in the morning. I always tell people to just switch yourself around in the bed, out of the bed, and sit there for a few minutes and kick your legs so you can get the motion moving and get the blood circulating. Because if you jump out of that bed like that, chances are you could really actually fall and hurt yourself. So
I've done that.
don't just jump out of the bed. So they are testing your core and muscle strength. Oh, that's for you, Jasmine. She said, "Are they testing your?"
Pretty much because all of my cerebral palsy affects me from my waist down to my feet. So basically, being able to sit up straight, which I still don't do, by the way, it makes
Since
them
we're in
see
our
if I
house,
can balance myself. But no,
growing up, we had to sit up straight.
I've never been able to do that.
And when I was in private school, you had to walk with a book on your head. If that tells you if your posture was good. That's so old school.
Um,
But yeah, guys. So when you're getting up in the morning, please don't just jump out of the bed because you can really hurt yourself from that.
Yeah.
Swing those legs and get the blood circulating, moving. Also, I always tell people uh, drink some water because that actually also gets your blood circulating. Especially if you're going to a doctor's appointment and you're going to get the vampires to pull your blood, drink some water, honey, because you got to get those
Uh-huh.
veins moving because they've been in resting state for however long you've been asleep. Marley says, right. I lay in the bed for about 15 minutes before I get completely out of the bed. Yep. Don't just jump out of the bed. And I know for me, a lot of times, again, I don't like to be late. And if I oversleep and I know I got to get to work when I was working for a company, I would jump up and just go in and get busy, get dressed. And I did a lot before I was diagnosed. And now I've learned so
Yeah.
much about my body and about the body that I'm telling people, hey, don't do that. Don't do it to yourself.
And
Because,
sleep in the middle of the bed.
say what now?
Sleep in the middle of your bed.
You
Cause
sleep in
most,
the middle of the bed?
cause most time I'll end up rolling over, and I never
Uh-huh.
know how to fall. So at least if I know if I sleep directly in the middle, if I roll over in the middle of the night, I'm not gonna hit the floor.
Oh, see, that's another thing I don't do either. I sleep in one spot. I don't move. When I do
Oh
finally
yeah,
lay
I'm
down,
not good
I
at that.
sleep in that one spot. And you can look when I get up in the morning, my spot looks like I never even slept in it. His side looks like a tornado went through. I'm like, I don't know what you're doing to sleep, but the covers all
Yeah,
tangled up, and I'm that's messy. I sleep in one spot. I do not move.
yeah, I'm not good at that.
I do not move.
Nope.
I even stretch in the bed too, guys, because a lot of us have the spasticity. I can't get the word out now. So I take my foot and I can't. I don't like laying on my back, and I don't like laying on my stomach. So I'm in the fetal position. But in the middle of the
So you
night,
sleep in a bowl?
hmm,
You sleep in a bowl?
yep, yep,
Mm.
in one spot too. I don't move. But I definitely don't. I do find myself stretching the spasticity out when I lay on my stomach, and then I take my foot and I pull it to the end of the bed and just stretch and pull my legs and my arms to stretch, 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 and that feels so much better. We talked about it on one of my Wellness Wednesdays back a few months ago when we were talking about the spasticity, how you can the Charlie horse, the things that you can do to nip that, to pull that Charlie horse out. And I find myself doing it a lot lately, and it's going to get worse in the wintertime. I don't know what it is about the winter, but I love the cold weather. But something about that winter just gives that Charlie horse um,
I don't like
control
the
over my
cold.
body. Let's see. Marley said water should be the first thing on your stomach in the morning. It lubricates our organs and get them started for the day's work. They will have to do the day's work they have to do. I sleep with water. Yep, I sleep water. I keep my water bottle by my bedside. I do. I drink water a lot. I drink it throughout the night, and I drink it. That's the first thing I drink in the morning. But be careful
Mhm.
with that, guys, because you can drink too much water. And also, if you find yourself drinking a lot of water, you need to call your doctor and get tested because sometimes people with diabetes they drink a lot of water. Um, just like they cannot quench their thirst. And we all know that quenching your thirst doesn't mean a soda or tea or coffee and all that other stuff. You got to quench your thirst with water and put some lemon in it if you have to. So okay, so we talked about balance and numbness. Jasmine, do you have numbness? You know I have numbness. That's a big thing for me. Numbness.
Yeah. Mm, it's mostly in my hands now.
Uh-huh.
Apparently, there's possibly a pinched nerve in my elbow, which wouldn't have not a clue how I done that, but apparently it's possibly from driving my chair and my elbows being bent in a certain way. Or apparently I sleep with my arms bent. Apparently you're not supposed to do that. But that's just the way I sleep. So it's mostly in my hands now. My feet go numb when they get too cold. Because my feet stay cold 365 days a year. Like
Oh,
it's
okay.
like it's annoying. Like,
Now,
it would feel like I walked outside and I haven't.
wow. Now, Marley, December. Did you change your screen name? I just realized that. Or did you just change it for the live? I just realized that.
It's not as long.
Yeah, it usually say family blog. I was like, wait a minute, she changed her name. She said that I wish I could sleep in the middle of the bed and stay there all night. I've slept alone for the last 11 years. I've grown accustomed. I've grown used to sleeping all over the bed most nights. Oh no, he does. I can't. That's probably. But I've always slept in one spot.
No, that's a way for me to fall on the floor.
Then she said, "Really, really, I don't know. I didn't know that, Jasmine. You just schooled me. I sleep with my arms bent all the time."
Yep,
Now
it's a
I
lot
will
for
tell
me.
you this: when I was going to the hair salon every week, I would sleep in that. How they say they sleep pretty, keep them messing up their hair. I was one that slept like that. Wait a minute, let me see
Oh,
if I
I
can
can't
get it.
sleep like that.
I slept like this
Mm,
because y'all know I don't like to do hair.
no.
So I used to sleep pretty, so I wouldn't mess up my hair. And I would go back on Fridays, and she's like, "Did you sleep?" I barely did, so I started making my appointment on Saturday, so Friday night I could sleep.
No, that's too funny. That is just too funny. Yeah.
But she said you taught her something, Jasmine, on that one.
Yep.
Now,
I sleep
another,
with my elbow like that.
huh?
I don't know.
Hey,
I find it more
Paul.
comfortable to sleep
Hey,
with
how
this.
are you? Welcome.
But I don't know how they expect people to sleep with their arms straight. Like, I don't know anybody that do that.
I
Or
don't.
actually,
I
see,
don't.
most people don't sleep with their arms completely straight.
I
So
definitely don't.
I don't know how they expect people to do that. But then they say since your elbow and your neck is connected, could have pinched it in your neck and don't know where it came from, so it could be leading to your elbow. I gotta get a whole MRI to figure that thing out. But yeah, apparently sleeping with your arm bent can also pinch a nerve in your elbow, which I did not know that at first either.
I stay in so much pain, it probably don't even phase me. I probably am having that problem.
Oh, it didn't phase me at first until my fingers started going numb, and then it started to be a rash on my elbow.
Uh huh.
And I was like, why is it like that? And then that's when they came up with the whole, do you sleep with your arms bent? Because, you could have pinched the nerve in your elbow and all that funny stuff. I'm like, really? Just from sleeping that way? Who knows?
Well,
But I'm trying to think about all the people that type, they have to type with their arms bent. People have to do a lot of things where they got to bend their arms a certain way. So who knows?
yeah. So with the numbness, though, for me, it does state that tingling um, indicates that the brain is not receiving the sensory input. So, and that is true. That is true. It's saying that your brain is not receiving the sensories. That's where the tingling has come from. And I have the tingling from here, that from the elbow all the way down here. There is no feeling here. I have no feeling, none. You could probably smash it with a hammer and I wouldn't feel it. As a matter of fact, I pick up hot stuff and don't even know it. And there's so many burn marks on my body because I just don't feel it. But it is a gap in the brain with the sensory motor running. So that's part of it. And fear of falling. Fear of falling. Do you have fear of falling, Jasmine?
Yep.
You do.
It got so bad to where I would ask for some medication to help because my legs shake uncontrollably. And at first I was used to it because it used to happen randomly, and then it started happening a lot more to where they was doing it too much to where I can't even move sometimes when it's happening. So I had to get some medication to slow that down. I know everybody's not a fan of medication, but it was just too much. Not being able to move because you can't stop it. And even though sometimes even
So
somebody
did
pick
they
up
give
that
you what
person,
type of medication did they give you? You don't have to tell me the
um,
name, but was it one to relieve your um, oh gosh, what's the word I'm looking for?
um,
I know
It's
what you're
to
talking.
it's to calm down the tremor.
Okay.
It still happens. It doesn't happen as bad now, but they still happen. But everybody with cerebral palsy has some sort of tremor, whether it's in their hand, their leg, it could be even in their face. So
Wow.
it depends on how much you can handle, but sometimes it can get out of control.
Now I don't know if my fear of falling. I don't know if it's the fact of me. At first, I would say I would be a little embarrassed about falling, but since everybody know, I really don't care what people saying because I used to. Before I was diagnosed, I would fall up the stairs. People's like, "Who falls up the stairs?" I do. What you gonna do about it? But I would laugh at myself because I would fall up the stairs, down the stairs. I've fallen down my steps in my house so many times. I can't even count the number of times that I've fallen down the stairs. It's to the point now when someone in the house, my husband will say, "Did you just fall down the stairs?" Yeah, I fell down the damn steps. He's like, "You okay?" Yeah, I'm okay. I get up, brush myself off, keep doing it. I've fallen down the steps so many times. That's why I cannot wait until we get into our ranch style home because these stairs are not good for me. And I'm just so afraid that one of these days it's bound to happen. And I'm not 16 years old where I can recuperate from a broken bone. So, I mean, I'll recuperate, but it's going to be heck on me by,
Um,
arthritis and everything else. So, fear of falling, I don't really have a fear of falling. I just try my best to not fall.
I've
Uh,
never fallen on the steps before. I've fallen getting on the toilet, and I've fallen out of the bed before, but never the steps.
Never fallen out the bed. My mom said I never fell out the bed as a child either, but that's because I sleep in that one spot too, so I don't roll. So
Hmm.
she said I never fell as a child out the bed, and I don't, and I know I definitely haven't fallen out the bed as an adult. So, but fear of falling is, I mean, it's something that happens. Now, I will tell you guys an incident that happened. It was right when I was diagnosed with MS, and we had gone to the gym, and my husband left the gym, and he was right ahead of me, and I was right behind him, and I just stepped off the curb. We were just talking about that. I stepped down off the curb, and yeah, I fell. And he was like, he kept walking, and I guess he didn't know that I had fallen. And he walked onto the car, and I'm laying on the ground. He looked behind, he didn't see me because I'm laying on the ground. And then he looked over and he saw me. He says, "How did you fall?" I thought that I had tripped over his foot. And he says, then I was like, I couldn't have tripped over his foot because he was way ahead of me. So I fell just by coming out and stepping off of the curve, and kaboom! I hit the side. I hit that asphalt, and I was messed up. I was messed up with that.
Yeah, I don't
So,
do
but
curves.
you don't do curves.
Nope. I make sure if there is a curb, I make sure somebody can pull the car into a flat surface. I don't have to do curbs. Every once in a while, I have to do curbs, but then that means two people have to be in front of me, and then somebody will pull, and I can step up that way. I try
Yeah,
to avoid curbs as much as possible.
but see that in my instance, that's called the foot drop. I don't know what happened, and for the life of me to this day, I do not know what happened. All I know is that my body was hugging the asphalt.
Okay.
I hit that ground so hard. The people in the gym was running out. I met a lady some years ago. She had the same thing. She had foot drop syndrome. And she was coming out of Joann's fabric. And guys, whether you know it or not, that small little step on the curve to go down on the now some of them I've been to some that are really tall, but she was stepping off a curve side. This is the average size. And the way she stepped down, she broke her ankle, her foot, and part of her
Mm.
leg. She was in bad shape, bad shape.
Mm.
And when it happened, I saw it and I ran over to her and she was like, help me, help me. So I was trying to help her. But you know, when you're in the medical profession, you have to be very careful not to help people because the class action lawsuits or the lawsuits, period. You don't want to get sued. So the only thing I could do is just tell her this, just relax, relax, relax. Let me get you some help. So I took my sweater and I folded my sweater up and I put it around her and I took my, actually it was my hoodie. I rolled it up and I put it under her so that she would not have that pressure and the cold because it was cold outside. And the ambulance came and they were like, that's how you broke your foot too, Marley? Oh my God. I did not, guys, you would not think that small of a drop would break your foot. But I felt so sorry for that lady. She was crying and she was screaming. She was hollering. She was an elderly lady and I felt so sorry for her. So what did I do? I sat flat on the ground and I put my chest, can't do that stuff now, but I put my chest up against her so that she could have her posture where she wasn't slumped down. But when the ambulance got there, they were like, wow, you really helped her because it's cold out here. And I said, never mind that. Get her in the ambulance. She needs help. Why are you telling me this? I know what I did. Just help the lady. But I never knew that that small of a drop would actually break your foot or your ankle. Because I was like, wow. And she wasn't a heavy lady either. She was small. So I'm like, wow, that really happened. So from that point on, I'm very careful when I'm coming off the curb because even with that, if my spasticity or if my balance is off or anything is going wrong, I could easily fall because my freaking body don't want to act right. So, but yes, the balance and the fear of falling, I don't have fear of falling anymore. I have confidence and I make sure that watch, please don't let me get off this live and go walk down the stairs and fall. But I have confidence in when I'm walking, I take my time and I constantly tell myself to pick my foot up and I just keep it in mind because yeah, falling is no joke. It's no joke, but I don't let it bother me as much as it did in the beginning. Spasticity. What you do for your spasticity, Jasmine? Do you have that problem?
Yeah, a whole lot of stretching. Those stretches can be painful sometimes, but they're important. And then there's that whole little bicycle thing they make you do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think that is one of the hardest things ever in the world.
Now, do you have it in your calf or now we call it, back in the day they call it a Charlie horse, guys. So a lot of you guys probably deal with the Charlie horse. Carolyn Esau said this is a very nice live. I enjoyed it. Have a good night. You too, Carolyn Esau. It was so good to see you. I am making visits, so just be on the lookout. I'm coming to people's channel. So I appreciate you coming in tonight and God bless you. You have a great night yourself.
Good night.
Marley says, yep, it happened at a location I had visited many times. I was used to the step being a certain height, but once I left the facility, I didn't realize the step was a bad height, a bit high. Oh, okay, a tad bit higher. Oh God, tad bit higher than it had been in the past. Wow. Jeez, how long were you on? How long were you down after that, Marley?
Wow.
Hey Taylor. Taylor says I'm back. Taylor must have had dinner. Taylor, we were asking. I had a question for you, Taylor, and if you want to explain it in the chat, that's good. I think Jasmine explained it. What was it, Jasmine, that I asked? I forgot. Oh,
when you were
she said that her
asking
gait
her about the gait thing.
was what did she call it though? Scissors. She said it was like the scissors. Let's see. Marley said that due to the recent construction, the owner didn't place a watch your step sign outside the door. So I ended up suing the company and won. Awesome.
It's 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Um, I had another incident. Now I will tell you this too. I don't, I laugh when I fall. I have to laugh to keep from crying, number one, but I've always been the one that laughs when I fall. So this
You
particular
good?
incident, I was in the Kroger store and I came out of the store and I had the shopping cart and I was walking and I get to a certain spot and the next thing you know, I was like on one of those cartoon shows or something. My whole body was flipped up and I landed on the asphalt. Some irresponsible person dropped some motor oil. They had purchased some motor oil and it fell out of their bag or whatever they did with it. And instead of them picking it up, they left it there and cars kept hitting it and it was splattered all over the parking lot. And when I hit that spot, it was like, whoo, I just flew up in the air.
I sent you the medication name since you asked.
Oh, okay, I see it. Thank you. So I flew up in the air. So I had to go. Somebody saw it and they stopped to help me. And I told him, go get my husband. He's in the store. And he came out and he was like, what the blah, 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 blah happened? And I said, do you see all of this in the street? And the lady says, yeah, I saw it. She said, as a matter of fact, when she drove through that spot, she could feel her tire treads were not the best. She could feel it slipping a little. And they brought the manager out and they went and put cat litter on it. I went to the doctor. And do you know, they told me, they said, how come you don't look down when you walk? I said, excuse me? I said, first of all, I do look down because I have MS. So that's all I do is look down because I don't want to fall. But he said, how come you didn't see it? Because it happened right outside of the area where they had the plants and they had been watering the plants. So, you know, oil and water don't mix, but you can't tell a difference because it's hot outside, the sun was shining, and it looks like it was just the water. And I went flying through there, but they actually paid me for it. So I didn't get a whole lot of money. I wasn't expecting money. I just wanted them to make sure nobody else happened to them.
Yeah, no.
Marley said I was on crutches for 8 weeks. Then I had surgery a few months after coming off the crutches. Ow. From there, I was in a boot for 6 weeks and developed, hypertensive disorder on the foot. Oh, my goodness. That was a lot.
Oh,
So we're looking
wow.
at 8 is 14 and then additional healing and physical therapy and all of that. That's, wow, 14 plus
Listen,
weeks. I'm glad you're
listen, when
feeling
I
better.
had surgery, I was in a cast for 3 months with a bar between my legs. And then after that, I did like 3 months of physical therapy and had to go to a special school.
Wow. And Marley says
Mhm.
she has a metal pin in her foot to this day.
Yeah,
Wow.
I have a whole rod in my left.
Oh, I'm not stepping off curves no more. I'm going to the handicap ramp. I'm sorry. That's scary. That is scary. And I don't
Yeah,
need
I
that
don't do
to be
curves.
that one time that my left foot don't want to cooperate and my right foot is already messed up. Lord Jesus, no.
Yeah, I don't
Mm-mm.
do curves.
I will not be doing that anymore.
Yeah,
I'm going down the ramp.
yeah.
So,
'Cause I wasn't
oh
walking,
boy.
but I fell off the curb in my power chair.
You feel what? You did what?
Um, it was my freshman year of high school, and it was pep rally season. It was homecoming,
Uh-huh.
and we were walking down to the field, and I don't know how I didn't see the curb because we were on the curb. So I don't know what I missed, or did I just blank out for a second or something? And my assistant was with me, and then the next thing I know, my chair was flipped over, and yeah, so I was in my chair, buckled in and everything. And I didn't hit
Wow.
my head or anything, but my chair had flipped over on the side because it went off the curb somehow. Hmm.
Wow. So, guys, since I've been talking a lot about writing your symptoms down and interviewing your doctors and things like that, how would you guys feel about? I do have a platform that's set up that has a list of things to ask the doctor, how to track your symptoms and things like that. Would you guys be interested in me putting a video out on that?
Hmm. That'd be interesting.
Marley says, "Oh wow, Jasmine, I'm glad you didn't hurt your head." Exactly. That's something else to flip up in that power chair too.
Yep. It flipped sideways. So basically, it took 4 people to set it upright while I was in it.
Wow.
And the only thing that happened was the side of my face got scratched and it scratched with the shoes that I had on. But other than that, I was fine.
Wow. Yeah, I'm glad you're okay with that because that's no joke. Guys,
Mm.
falling is no joke.
That's why I
Of
don't do
course,
curb.
of
After
course,
that,
with
I
me,
don't
like
do
I said,
curb.
I laugh to keep from crying. Um, I never was the one that would laugh at people when they fall. I never was. I was not that person. I don't know. I didn't laugh at people because they fell. I didn't laugh at people that wasn't exactly like me because we're all freaking different people. So I've never been like that. Never have.
Mm-mm.
Never have. I was never one that I would get in trouble in school for talking about people. That just wasn't me. Um, but if somebody talked about me, just like I said, I was easily ready to come back on you with something fast because I came from a family of Joners. We laughed and joked and stuff all the time. So I was able to come back fast, but I never let people bother me like that. And Marley says, me either. I'm one that will help them. Yeah, I will help them up. I'm not the one that laughs because I definitely can't laugh now because I fall all the time.
Yeah. I
That was
usually tell
the
people
hot
don't
house
help.
black. I don't do that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Taylor said not being able to walk takes a psychological toll on people too, and it's too much for them sometimes. So I think that's why people turn to drugs and alcohol. Yeah, that is true, Taylor, and that's also what I was saying is that is reading
Mm.
the journals, the medical journals. It said that also they do it because a lot of it's psychological, exactly, and also some people are just in so much pain and they don't know how to fix it, so they do the alcohol and drugs.
Yeah. Oh.
So me personally, I would not do drugs, or definitely wouldn't do drugs. If it's not all natural, it's not gonna come to me.
Yeah.
Uh, and
Um.
Jasmine and I talked about alcohol in certain areas. This
Mhm.
I've already. I'm not gonna. I don't want to. I don't want anybody to come at me. I don't want any Budweiser, and all them people coming at me because I ain't got no money anyway. So come all you want. You can't get much. So, but yeah, I have this thing about alcohol and stuff. So, but you're right, Taylor. That is correct.
Yeah. I stay away from
They
that.
do try to find a way to comfort their body. So, I have been
Yeah.
doing
But now they
the
make you go to therapy.
hmm,
Now doctors make you go to therapy even if you tell them you're fine. They make you go now at least once.
yeah. I
It's
don't know. Therapy is
required.
good. Therapy is good.
It
I went
is.
through therapy, and therapy was really good because I got a lot off that I didn't even know it was a problem. And it was like they asked that perfect question, and I just spilled all over the place. I was like, "Can I lay down on the couch?" I mean, the psychiatrist. But see, when I went to one psychiatrist, all she wanted to do was first thing she did was, "I'm gonna write you a prescription." No, I don't want a prescription. I want you to sit here and earn this money that my insurance is paying you. We gonna talk. And I laid there and I let it go. And after I left, she's like, "You really do need to come back." And I was like, "I didn't even think I was that bad. I didn't think I was that bad off." And she called me back in, and I went to the appointment again. And I had
Yeah.
I had so much pent up in my body that I didn't even know because I'm that type of person that didn't let stuff bother me, but it really did bother me. So, guys, if you
Oh,
have a therapist or a psychiatrist that you want to go to, or
please
you
do.
know you don't think you need to, I recommend you to go only because I thought that I was the best thing since cheese,
Like
do
for
things with potato chips, and I went and it helped me a lot. I think I needed
uh,
this because my migraine went away, and I've been chatting with you all. Oh, I'm glad your migraine went
good.
away. I'm glad it went away. I had a headache for the first time last night, and I went back in my journal and looked. It was the first time I had a migraine headache in 6 months. So,
Mm.
and I didn't have to take medication. I toughed it out and I got rid of it. I laid in the bed. I don't know if many people have migraines, but with my migraines, it be, and I'm sure Marley, I've heard Marley talk about hers too, but mine would be so bad that nothing would work. Nothing would work. I would be nauseous, pain just coming out. So the only thing I could do is just sit there and just rub the temple and just get the body get so limp and cover my face with something dark or sometimes put a hot towel to try and help. But I got medication for it. But it's bad when the medication didn't work.
Yeah.
And I actually am going to go and get the earring in there to stop the headaches. But since I haven't had them as often, I don't think I should get the earring now. But I
There's
really,
an earring.
yeah, there's an earring that people get that's on the inside of the ear, right there on that little bristle part. It hurts, but people are getting it and it stops their headaches.
Oh wow.
It's,
Never
it's known to
never knew
stop
that.
migraine headaches. Taylor said scissor gait is a flexion at the knee. Yeah, Marley, 6 months. Did you see Taylor's comment, Jasmine? Yeah, it's been
Mm-hmm.
6 months.
I think
Marley,
that's the
have
way
you
I
thought
explained
about
it.
doing the earring in there? Have you read about that? It's so many people. It was actually on the news. Was it the doctors or the Good Morning America? Somebody was talking about it, and they were saying that people are getting the piercing inside of their ear. I don't know if you guys can see it, but inside of the ear, right in there somewhere.
Oh wow. I'd be afraid to get my ears pierced again.
I'm not.
I would be because I don't even remember getting my ears pierced the first time because I got it done when
Again,
I
I'm
was six
pain
months old.
tolerant, so listen,
I
Marley said, yes, you can have your yes, 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 that's the word. Thank you, Marley. She said, I'm getting you you get hey, let's go together. Are you still here? Let's go together. Let's go together, Marley. Let's go together with the whole hand. But I
well,
don't
you're
believe
gonna
in
have to
crying.
let me know.
So
You're gonna have to let me know how that is when you get it done.
yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna do it. I said I was gonna do it. I gotta wait now until we get the clearance to go into the mall and stuff. I don't want to go just anybody doing something. Now, I might off topic, my but on topic, my two of my holes in my ears closed. And my mom said, "You gonna go get them done again?" I said, "No, I'm gonna do it myself." She said, "What are you gonna do?" I said, "I'm gonna take the earring and just punch it in there." And she's like, "No, you're not." Yes, I am.
Mm,
And I did. She's like, "Oh my God.
mm,
Didn't that hurt?" I said, "I'm used to pain. Pain don't
mm.
bother me. I'm in pain so much it don't even matter." I just put that on my bucket list of pain that I wake up with and go to bed with. So, but I am going to go and
You
have
know.
6 months without a medication. And I found out the first set of medication they gave me for my headaches, get this, it was for people that was narcoleptic. And I was like, really?
What?
Yep.
That,
It
that's
said
bad.
yeah, but it worked. It worked. But I was scared to take it after that. I was like, let's do something else. LOL. Yes, I'm still here. I want to find the best person for the job, though. Everybody can't. Yes, yes, and yes. You're right, Marley. Some people don't do even the regular piercing. They don't do it correct. So, well, let me know
Mm.
who you find because if we can't do it as together, I will. If you recommend, I'll go check.
Y'all have fun with that.
She said she's seen some horror stories, and that's something you don't want to mess with. And I'm telling you,
No.
I'm not the type of person, even like when I go to give blood, when they go to draw the blood, that's why I go to a particular person facility because I've been to one where they hit the bone and my reflex, I'm sorry, I cannot be accountable for my reflexes. And I socked the lady because she hit the bone. I kept saying, that's not where you go. That's not where I am. That is my job. I was like, that is not where you, bam, she did it. She hit the bone and I just went, bam, and I hit her.
Oh,
And she's like, wow. I said, yeah, you get away. She said, let me get it. No, you're not going to do it. I tell you what, you're not going to do. So she left the office to get somebody to come and take the blood. When they came back, I had did my own blood work.
yeah. I
They was
had
like,
the
I thought you
same.
needed help with the patient. And it's like, she's like, yeah, she wouldn't let me take the blood. I say, there's the blood and I'm gone. They was like, you weren't supposed to do that. I said, it's called, I got my license. I can do what I want to do with my body.
Yeah, I had that same problem, but it wasn't in my arm. It was with a catheter,
Ow.
and I kicked the lady. Because they needed it. She claimed they needed it right away, but I'm not that type of person that can go on demand when they
Right.
tell you to. So I told the lady, "Don't do this while I'm awake. I'm the wrong person to do it to. Because if you hit the wrong thing, you're gonna be in trouble." And she said, "Well, I know what I'm doing," and she did it. You heard me scream. Everybody heard me scream that the doctor that I had just saw 5 minutes ago came running because he thought somebody was torturing me. And she got kicked.
Wow.
And I told her, don't bring her back.
Well, when you
'Cause,
said on demand, I just realized what you said because I'm like that too, Jasmine.
no, like if I'm drinking something, it'll happen within 5 minutes. But if I don't drink anything, it's not gonna happen on demand like they want it. So that's what I told the lady. She was like, no, we need it now because we need to find out now. And I said, well, it's not gonna happen. So then she said, well, we just gonna cap you and it's gonna be okay. And I said, oh no, it's not. Y'all only allowed to do this when I'm asleep. And she did it. She hit the wrong thing, and everybody heard me scream. And
See,
she
that's
got
where
kicked.
I, they would always have to do that because I don't use public bathrooms. And it was funny. She said, "But this is the doctor's office. Nobody's in here but you." Da, da, da.
Mm.
And she came back 5 minutes later. You still have no. You want some more water? Yep. They put an IV and everything in. And I just would not. I said, it's psychological, ma'am. I cannot.
Yeah,
My body
water. I
locks
can do it
down.
with
I
water.
cannot.
I can
And
do it
then
with
she says
water.
to me, she says, all right, so she had all these water spigots, the faucets were just running full blast with water, wasting all that water. As I'm telling you, it's not gonna happen. And she's like,
Yeah.
okay. And then she came back in about 20 minutes. She said, still nothing. I was like, no, I told you I cannot. So she
Mm.
said, we're gonna have to put a catheter in. I was like, all right, long as you do it right. I said, if you do it
Yeah.
wrong, you're gonna have consequences, baby.
Yeah, I don't play that. And then especially
She said,
when they make
"Oh
up
my
the dead
God!"
thing, they
And the
have
thing is, they have the machines that can tell your bladder is full. It's just like you are full and you're not releasing it. I said, "I told you no, I can't. My body just will not let me do it." And then when she
mm-hmm.
finally did it, I was like, "Okay." She said, "Look at that! Look, you were so full." I said, "Yeah, just hurry up and get what you need because it ain't happening no more."
Mm-hmm. And don't let them break out the bedpan. I really got a problem.
Bring the who?
The bedpan, because most of the time they
Oh,
don't want you to get up. And so when they do that and they actually get what they need, like I said, it's only gonna happen once. It's only gonna happen once. You gotta get what you're gonna get and get out of here because it's not gonna happen again for about however long it takes. And they did it. The lady collected it, but she wasted. Like she dropped the bedpan, and I'm like, "See, I told you this was gonna be a problem. I told you." They don't listen.
catastrophe
So,
left and right.
mm, it's always a catastrophe.
Jason Nicole said laugh out loud. Catastrophe.
It is a catastrophe because I just told you. I just told you what was gonna happen because I knew you were gonna do it. Cause and the lady was like, "Well, I should have listened to you." Of course, you just said I'm not attached to nothing. I just told you I had to go to the bathroom, so why you just didn't let me go? They didn't say you had to keep me here. Just let me
Wow.
go, and then you could have got it the way you needed it. But no, you want to break out the bedpan because you think something's gonna happen, and this is what happened. but not listen to me. Yeah,
Wow.
don't do that.
No, my body just won't let you do this. It shuts down now. The only time that I can remember ever doing it was when I went to the acupuncturist. Guys, if you've never been to acupuncturist, it is the life. I love it. Love
Yeah, I
it.
can't convince myself to try that.
You do not feel the needles. It's like it's really and truly like a feather. It's
I hear that,
really and
but
truly like a
I
feather.
haven't convinced myself to do it yet.
Well, they had put all the needles in me, and this is the only time that I've used a public bathroom that I can remember for years. And it's not scary. It's not. It's actually relaxing. You
Yeah,
meditate
I
and
don't
all of
get the
that.
cold. I don't do needles at all.
Look, Marley said acupuncture is life. Tell them it is life. I love it. And you get in there and after they put the needles in and you meditate. Oh my God, it's the best. But this one
Well,
time,
one day I'm gonna
I had to
have
use the
to
bathroom
try.
so bad. And she's like, I'll be back. But she was always, this doctor was always packed. And she's over at the old, Marley, she's over at the old DeKalb Medical, now Emory. And she's always busy, busy, busy. And I was like, I don't know why you don't get somebody else to help you. But I'm sitting in there. And she said, I'll be back in like 10 minutes. I'm like, all right. 10 minutes come by. She's not back. And I'm sitting there like, oh my God, I got all these needles in me. I was like, I got to use the bathroom. And she's like, they was like, she's not, she'll be back in 10. They kept coming in. So the last time they came in, I said, look here, I got to use the potty. She says, well, let me take the pen. I said, no, you ain't taking no pens out. I got to go now. I ran to the bathroom with all these pins and needles sticking in me.
Oh no!
The needles were popping out everywhere, Marley. They was
Oh no! Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, that was the funniest thing. Those needles were everywhere. And the lady
Yeah,
said,
I'm gonna do that.
don't come out yet. We got people in the. I said, I don't care who. If they haven't seen this beauty, they're going to see it now. She's like, at least let me give you a sheet. I said, give me the sheet.
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, I got out there, was in there sweeping up all the needles. And she's like, what happened? I said, I told you I had to use the ladies' room. And you kept saying, I'll be back 10 minutes. I'll be back 10 minutes. I said, now I was meditating, but meditating was not stopping that from happening.
No. Yeah, I'm not that person.
She said, you should drink don't drink so much water next time. I say, look, I got bladder problems.
Yeah. No.
Oh, Lord Jesus, that was too funny. But guys, it's 9:23. At 9:30, I'm jumping off the live. And the 7 people that's been hanging out with me, I totally appreciate you. So I will be putting out content on Wednesday. Jasmine is on vacation, lucky. So she's not going to be putting anything out. Anybody in the live, if you want to put anything in the chat about what you're going to do on your next video, when you're going to have your next video, not what you're going to do. When you're going to put something out next, you may put it in the chat.
Yeah.
Marley said, well, you got to go. Yeah, got to go. Amen to that, sister.
Yes,
I was not thinking about nobody. She said, it's men in the lobby. Oh, well, they're getting ready to see all this beauty right here now. I ran up there so fast. They couldn't even see me. I was so fast going in there. Pins and needles just going everywhere. They were popping off my head, off my arms. Oh. Hey, Marley, when you do that, do they do the suction? I love that. Oh, my God. Y'all don't know. Like she said, acupuncture gives you life.
One of these days, I'll try it.
If you never tried it, you can call them. They will let you come in and they will just let you see how it feels. And it's just like they know exactly the different areas that they put I've got the pictures, but they got different areas that they put them on. And then when they put the candle in the glass globe and they put it on you and they suction, I'm all bruised up from the suction because I'm like easily bruised. But yeah, you gotta, yeah, it's not, it doesn't hurt at all. And I know I say I have a high tolerance for pain, but you do not feel it's like a feather. The bruises scares you. You should see the bruises, man. on my arm. She did it. Oh, she did it on the chest area, and I was like,
What?
but I bruised up really bad. She says, "Oh, it go away. It go away." It did not go away in no day. It took almost 5 days for that bruise to go away.
Yeah, I'm with Marley. The bruises would scare me because I bruise too easily, and I be looking purple and whatnot.
Yeah, I'll send you the picture, Jasmine. I'll send you the picture. You can see it.
Yeah, send me
The
that.
needles are not bad at all. I actually have some needles because when they were popping out, I was grabbing them. But you can go in and they'll let you see how light. It's really like a feather. It's not even like a mosquito bite. It's just really, really light. They do it perfectly. I'm like, that's a lot of training, of studying, because it didn't bother me at all.
Yeah, but I don't like needles. I don't even like when they give you the little tiny needles at the neurologist where they gotta poke you in your face to see if you can feel it. That's even bad for me.
But
I don't
see,
like that.
no, but see, Jasmine, the difference is that's a thick needle. The needles they use, like Marley said, you don't even feel the needles. They're really, really, they're thin. They're like, I promise you, it's like,
Oh,
I
I
wish I
believe you. I
would let
just
you
don't
see
like
it, but they're not bad at all. Now, the funniest thing that the neurology do when they when they check your reflex and they hit you on the knee with that hammer, that tickles me. They say you laugh every time I do that. I say it's just amazing to see how you hit the right leg and how that left leg just goes. I mean, the right leg just goes like very limp because I have no feeling in that leg, very very little feeling. When we hit that left leg, it goes and it goes away. I say you better step back because that leg is gonna go up high. It's gonna kick you.
Yeah, I'd be like, ooh, don't do that. They'd be like,
Yeah,
why are you not looking at me? I'm like, if I look at you, I'm going to tell you to stop. So if you got to do it, don't do it while I'm looking.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
So, but with that saying, guys, I am gonna put something out on. Did I say tomorrow? Tomorrow's Thursday, right? So I'll be putting something out tomorrow, and I'm off on Fridays and Sundays. So Friday and Sunday is my days off. On Saturday, I will put out content. Monday, I will put out content that's going to be pertaining to multiple sclerosis or some sort of one of my symptoms. And then whatever that symptom is that I talk about on Monday, it will be pasted on my Wednesday live. So Monday and Wednesday connects. And then Tuesday is my day that I go out and I visit y'all's channels and get caught up with that and get caught up on editing and things like that. So Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, you will see me putting something out. And then on Tuesday, I'm just behind the scene visiting channels and also visiting channels. I'm looking at my phone, sorry. Visiting channels and editing. And then Friday and Sunday, it's my world. Now, I may put something out on a Friday. It just depends. I'm not going to push it, but I will put something out. So if anybody else want to put anything else out that they are going to, thank you, Marley. Thank you. Anything anybody else want to talk about that they're going to put out, or if you want to talk about anything that we've talked about, any questions or anything like that?
I'll be checking out people's content after my vacation.
After your vacation, you're going to check. When your vacation, what day are you done with your vacation?
I'm not sure yet.
You're not sure? Oh, Jasmine.
We'll talk about it.
Oh, okay. So, hey, let me leave you guys with another tip. Okay, so I don't know about where your location is, but the mosquitoes are out like crazy crazies. Mosquitoes are biting you just like, I go to the door and the mosquitoes are like attacking me, right? So I've got a lot of mosquito bites. And this is why I don't like to go outside. One thing that you can do, this works for me, and you might try it if you're getting mosquito bites. And you know how you start scratching and whatnot? If you have some clear nail polish, put that clear nail polish on that mosquito bite disappears and it doesn't itch. I'm just saying, I've been doing it for years. So that's a
I'm
tip
not
that I'm
proud of
giving you guys. Again, I'm not a doctor. Be careful out there. But if you have some, yep, pay money, get you some clear nail polish on that mosquito bite, and that mosquito bite disappears. As a matter of fact, I got bit by one today, and I'm not close enough. Let me see if I can go out. Oh, it was right here.
Don't
It's
fall
flat.
over.
It's gone.
Oh, wow.
Soon as I feel the scratching, and because you don't feel, and see, that's how those acupuncture needles feel, Jasmine, like a mosquito bite. You don't even know when they bite you. You won't know until you start scratching. So when I started scratching, I was like, oh my God, mosquito bit me. So what did I do? I go into the bathroom, put some nail polish remover. I mean, clear nail polish on it. It has dissolved. It's flat, no bump at all. So now Taylor says she sleep. Taylor going back reading the chat. She says she sleep all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Not me. She's Marley say, "What? I'm gonna try that next time I get bit by one, which is rare."
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I'm definitely gonna try that because I get bit by
but you
mosquitoes.
also know too that they don't like vanilla flavor. So if you're outside, you can put the vanilla flavor, and they don't bite. They don't Mosquitoes don't like vanilla flavor. There's
Mm-hmm.
types of plants that you can plant around your house that mosquitoes don't like either. Marigolds is a flower. It's a pretty flower too. Moms, I think moms is another one. But mosquitoes don't like that, so they don't bite. And then they don't like citronella, but you have to burn so much citronella to get it to work.
Yeah.
So yeah, you definitely have to let's see, you have to definitely, especially now with them saying that mosquitoes actually have man, it's 9:32. I went past the time. Look at that. Uh mosquitoes are carrying things, you know. Again, I'm not a doctor
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, but I'll just rather be safe than sorry. And I
True.
sell Avon, and that skin so soft. Yes, and lavender. Yes, marigold and lavender because I grow lavender in my front, and I take the lavender and rub it all over. So lavender is another one. Yeah, so marigold and lavender. And what's that other one? I can see the flower. Can I think of what it's called? It's another flower. Lemon balm is a plant. It's not a flower. Lemon balms are pretty too. So maybe I should. Yeah, don't let the mosquitoes bite you. And they said it's this some rare bee that's out stinging people that's carrying something that's dangerous. So I'm like, Lord have mercy, you're killing us with our food and they're killing us with the insects. So I was just gonna try and keep myself in the house. Taylor says I'm gonna try that. I use alcohol when I have a bite. So Taylor, if you try the clear nail polish and let me know if it works because maybe it's just my genetics. I don't know, but it works for me. I told my friend about it and she got bit up really bad. And she came to work the next day. She had all these spots on. I said, girl, what you do? She said, you and your theory about the clear nail polish and the mosquito bites. So she had it all over her body. I said, but did it work? She said, yes, it did. So she's walking around with all these patches. I said, girl, if you don't take that off, the mosquito bite is gone.
Yeah. Lemongrass essential oils help with mosquito bites too.
This essential oils? Okay.
Mm,
Is there a
lemongrass.
particular one?
Lemongrass.
Oh, lemongrass. Yeah, see, I said lemon balm. So, because lemon balm is a plant. So, I believe
Lemongrass.
that. Yeah. All right, guys. It's 9:34. Your girl has got to go cook dinner. Me personally, I'd rather eat me a salad and drink me a glass of water and be okay. But I am going to end the live. I see 8 people still in here, whether you're in the chat, in the woods, wherever you are. I certainly appreciate you coming to visit us today. I hope that this chat was very informative to you. I had another thing to plan. I had another thing planned to talk about. Hey, it's my cousin on here. Hey, Adrian. Hey, how you
Hello.
doing? Welcome. So I hope the information was informative. I had something else that I was planning to do with it, but I decided to do it the next time. This is a part. This is another part of it, but I will be back in just a second, guys.
Yeah. So yeah. So I think what she's trying to say, I don't know if she's when she does the other part. I think you guys can leave your questions, or if you have any questions, you can reach out to her or something like that.
Yeah. Thanks, Adrian, for coming. I appreciate you coming in. We're getting ready to shut the live down. Yes, I'm glad it was informative. And I was going to, like I told you, you gained some nuggets. Yep, that's pretty cool, Marley. So I'm going to be talking. It's probably going to be each one of my sections are going to have a different um, some symptom that I've dealt with as a MS fighter warrior. So I am going to end the live and I will see you guys. I'm going to drop a video on tomorrow, which is Thursday. So again, thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate you coming out, and I'm glad that we had a talk about this the gait and the walking. And guys, watch your step and do like I do: left, right, left, right, left, right, and keep yourself walking. You guys stay safe. I see you next time. Thank you, Jasmine, for coming up.
You're
See you
welcome.
next time. Love you long time. Bye now. Hey, Adrian, give me a call tomorrow when you have a moment. Please, ma'am. Love you, cuz. Good night, everyone. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate you. Make it a great night on purpose. God bless you. Thank you for coming.